What up? So, I couldn't sleep at all. I've been awake for the last almost 24 hours. No, not even 20. No, it's less than 24 hours, but it's going to be 24 hours soon. I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. Just no particular reason. So yeah, here we are doing this. I ended up playing Tekken. I would have recorded this this would have come out like a couple hours earlier, but I was playing Tekken in the night. So yeah. But yeah, here we are doing this. You know what it is? Another fucking rant about the series that I love so fucking much, Dragon Ball Super, my favorite anime of all time. So yeah, I'm tired, so excuse me if like the emotion is not emoting correctly. Who knows? It might. Maybe I'll get riled up enough. Actually, I don't really think I've been like ever like that mad here on YouTube, but we'll see. Actually, before I get to it, let's start off on a more positive note first, right? Just to that new Gintama ending got me in my fucking feelings, man. That shit was incredible. Like, it was bittersweet. That's what it was. Like, Gintama's finally ending. It's my third favorite manga. And then there was the news about Batoto shutting down, which that really made me sad. Because I mean, yeah, it's a scanslation site, but it was apparently it was one of the few that didn't use like profits for like its own selfish gain, pretty much, right? Damn. Yeah, but Toto. So I'm not gonna read JoJo's Part 8 in Gintama now, but yeah, Gintama, the final arc started today, at least in the anime, the first episode. I should probably do some videos on that, right? We'll talk about it like later. We'll talk about it later. This is going to be about Vegeta. So yeah, as you can tell by the title, this is exactly the kind of video that I was not that I was fearing, but it's the kind of video that I hate the most. And the reason I do is because Vegeta Wank, it's one of those English like no one. The thing that I've noticed is that Japanese fandoms, especially like if you look at the Logan Paul video, right? Not that has anything to do with like fandoms, but generally, in my opinion, like when I go and I see like a Japanese or an Asian audience in general, they're more like silent and well behaved, whereas Western countries, especially America, like when I see like a vlog or something, they tend to be like way more like expressive and not disrespectful, but in the case of the Logan Paul stuff, disrespectful and a lot more like brazen and bold and I don't know, maybe arrogant's the right word, right? So the reason I'm bringing that up is because Vegeta Wank, for that very reason, I feel like it's something that has started with the fucking Western fans, those American fans. It was like, oh my god, Vegeta's so great, and I think the more, and which he is, I mean, I do love Vegeta. I'm not trying to hate on the character at all, but it's like, you know, then you go on Twitter and then you see like the super I hate the word, but community, like with Geekdom and Gabby and you know, all those cats, and then you see like all the meme pictures of Vegeta getting shit on like repeatedly in the series, all those pictures like circulating, which I actually didn't like, believe it or not, right? See, I've always been the first to say that Vegeta gets his ass handed to him, right? Like I said that like 5 years ago, right? I don't say that like as a point like, oh, I'm like so much more better than any other fan or anything like that, but the point is like I've known that for a while, right? Like me personally. So the thing, this is another case where like I hate it. Maybe it's because like everyone is doing it now. Like everyone is hyping up like, oh, Vegeta lost, but it's not like he was like wrung out in the episode or anything, right? It's not like he was. Who cares? Who the fuck? You know? And I guess like seeing so many people like ride the Vegeta fucking sucks, like he loses like every fucking fight, like bandwagon like train, that irritates me. I don't know why. Maybe because it's popular. Maybe I'm just a contrarian by nature. But it's just something, you know, that was just something that I wanted to say. Anyway, the episode sucks pretty much, and we'll start off with why. And actually, no, the opening scene right to the episode, which was 122, that was actually cool, right? Where it shows like all like the the 8 remain? Yeah, it's Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Frieza, 17. Yeah, so 8, right? The 8 remaining fighters. And it's like this very like it's like windy, like articles of clothing in their hair and stuff are like fluttering in the wind, right? Which I thought like I don't want to say it was try hard, but I thought like just to like focus in like on like different shots of like all the 8 characters, right? Just to like just to like see like not their reaction, but just for like the audience to know like that they were there. I thought was like really weird because first it went to I think it was Gohan or no first it went to Gohan, yeah no first it went to Frieza, then Gohan, then Dispo, then I don't know, it was some order, but point is like it showed all the 8 characters, right? I feel like it even though that was a cool scene, I liked it. I felt like that could have been much better like done, just like showing like a one shot like 8-piece separated shot, and in those 8 pieces you just have the characters' faces, or like you know what I mean. So yeah, that opening scene was cool, but I'll say this, it was really strange to see Vegeta's gloves flutter in the wind. But yeah, that was pretty much the only good part of the episode. So right after that, you know, then the episode, then it really makes a big deal out of the Grand Priest like shortening the bleachers, right? They really made a big deal out of the Grand Priest like shortening the bleachers. You know, with 18 saying like, "What's going on?" and then multiple shocked reaction shots with like them looking at each other like with the different gods of destruction and the Kaioshin. It's just like shaking my head, man. Like, what are you doing? Anant, who's the Anant? That's actually my brother's. Anant is actually the more Indian pronunciation. Anant. The Kaioshin of Universe 1. He has this line of dialogue where he goes like, the universes knew what they had to do, which is why Universe 7 and 11 survived at the end, because they knew what they had to do to survive in addition to being strong. And again, this is more fluff dialogue that is used to terribly heighten the brevity, and terribly, not like drastically, but terribly as in like it was bad, like the way in which it did was bad. Terribly heighten the brevity of the situation, since Universe 7 and Universe 11 being strong is exactly and only what was done, right? And then, you know, people are probably going to bring up like, oh, what about like the tactics and stuff, which really aren't even like that really intelligent tactics to begin with. But, you know, tactics, I would imagine, you know, is a part of like being strong. So knowing what they had to do, like that was just like a stupid line of dialogue, right? And before I continue, you guys know who's writing this episode, right? So it's no surprise that I hated it. That it's pretty much shit. It was Atsuhiro Tomioka, the worst fucking writer on this show. It takes 8 minutes into the episodes for anything to actually happen, which was, you know, I haven't said, did I say this before? I'm not sure yet, but it's funny how, like, in the Dragon Ball Super episode, like, any other anime, episode of an anime you watch, right, you go, like, what is it, like, 20, 21, 22, 23 minutes or something like that, right? And Dragon Ball Super, you have to skip into 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the episode for the episode to actually fucking start, right? They're prolonging the episode length, the duration of the episode already, like doing like this, what is it, like 15-30 second preview for the actual episode that's gonna that's gonna come up. You know, they're doing this preview for an episode that's coming up, like exactly like right after the preview is done, right? I'm not talking about the end of the episode preview. I'm talking about like at the beginning of the episode, right? Where it has like this 30-second episode. It's like Goku saying Dragon Ball Super, and then you see like all these fucking like different scenes like playing out, right? In the episode, it's just like, what's the point of that? And it's incredible to me that somehow they get, and not only that, then you have to add on the ending, and then the next episode preview. So altogether, you lose like 5 minutes, right? You lose 5 minutes of any actual sort of. You lose 5 minutes of doing more worthwhile stuff in the episode. So really, all these Dragon Ball Super episodes are like 18 minutes at best. Fucking 18 minutes. And that's just insane to me, right? That's almost dude, that is crazy to me. Like I watch like cable network and shit, and maybe I'm ranting and stuff, right? Maybe this has nothing to do with Dragon Ball Super, I guess, but like cable, I don't know, it does, but like cable, like I think about like those Adult Swim shorts. Remember those shows that used to only air for 15 minutes, like 12:15 and then 12:15 to 12:30. I don't remember like any specific name, but I remember that used to be a thing. And Dragon Ball Super is basically that, but with ads. It's mind-boggling to me, right? And you know, I understand, like, Dragon Ball Z had the preview stuff, and or no, sorry. Well, every anime now has like a preview, but well, yeah, almost all the anime that I watch, Hunter x Hunter, Gintama, Dragon Ball, whatever, right? But One Piece even. But the recap stuff, like, they shouldn't have to do that anymore. They shouldn't have to do that anymore. Like, it's fucking 2017. We don't need to see a recap. And this is a complaint that I should have brought up like way back, like 3 fucking years ago. No, 2.5 fucking years ago, basically. But yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. Anyway. Point is, it takes 8 minutes into the episode for anything to actually happen. And now we go into more like improper and inconsistent power scaling, right? So once again, I'm going to be complaining about this, even though the shit has been shit since basically Future Trunks fought Zamasu, right? So once again, I expect proper and consistent power scaling when it comes to a series about fighting, and obviously Super has failed in this regard, which is one of the many reasons why it sucks. But now somehow, Super Saiyan Blue Goku is parrying Jin's hits so cheerfully despite getting rocked earlier. I mean, it's incredible. Like, it's like they literally don't give a fuck, right? And not giving a fuck can be good, but not in this instance. You know? Not in this instance. I've already said, like, how this is disrespecting the original manga. I brought up, like, that example with Krillin beating Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Majin Buu, or that hypothetical situation of that happening. If that happened, that would be shitting on the original manga, right? So yeah, I mean, once again, we have that. There's more stupid, unintelligent, and generic dialogue of Goku's reason for getting stronger, right? It's like this pathetic attempt by Atsuhiro Tomioka, right? It's this pathetic effort to characterize Goku in some way, and I don't even know what that way is, right? It's a better way to have dealt with this, right? If you wanted to know, if you wanted to pose the question, right, in an episode or to the audience, like why Goku wants to get stronger, right? The better way to have dealt with it, right, is to bring up him being a Saiyan because Saiyans like to fight, right? And how he does it to prove to himself how far he can go. Literally, that is pretty much the message of Goku and fighting when it comes to Dragon Ball. And now it's just Goku saying like, oh, I don't know, I just want to get stronger because I want to get stronger. God, I want to kill someone. Anyway, then we get to Dispo versus Frieza, okay? And this is actually a cool line of dialogue, but considering the circumstances, it doesn't work. So Dispo implies he'll kill Frieza, right? Because he's like the fastest in all the universes, right? And which I've already said like is a really stupid power, right? Dispo implies he'll kill Frieza, right? He says that, or he says Frieza tells Dispo like his best ability is, oh, so all you're doing is just running away, and then Dispo says like, looks like you're trying to be killed again, right? Or something along those lines, right? So it's a cool line, right? But like I said, considering the circumstances, it's inappropriate, right? He implies he'll kill Frieza, yet not only is Frieza still dead, as we see with the fucking Halo, but killing is not allowed in the tournament, right? So why? What are you doing? Fuck you. Then we go to Toppo versus Gohan in 17, and then Gohan talks about Toppo being a veteran and having large arms, as if that means anything in a Dragon Ball fight post Z, which is as though being a veteran and having large arms is going to do anything to like Dragon Ball post Z enemies, right? It's incredible. I mean, granted, given how Super has gone, it shouldn't surprise me that that line would be said, but it's still so stupid just to hear that shit. Man, it's like you read or you watch Dragon Ball Z and then you come to this and you're just like, him being a veteran and having large arms means something? Like, what the fuck? Then we get to the main meat, which is the fucking Vegeta wank. How the fuck did Vegeta just magically see through Jiren's punches? Like, so Goku and Jiren fighting, and then Jiren does like this ora, like fucking like barrage. And then Vegeta just magically sees through that. Once again, we go with the Vegeta wank, right? Vegeta did not have any tough fight whatsoever in this right? He did not have any tough fight whatsoever in this tournament, right? That could even justify this, right? And somehow he did not have a tough fight. Like, who did he fight? He fought like Hissop, he fought like or the Ice Dude, he fought I don't know, Maji, or no, Frost and got like trapped in the thing. He didn't have a fucking tough fight against anyone, right? And somehow, right, he pulls off a feat better than Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue Goku because of course. Because of course. Like I said, Vegeta wank, these writers love to wank Vegeta, especially in relation to Goku, right? And I've brought up like multiple examples of this, like in streams, previous episode reviews, right? And I've talked about it on Twitter. And it's really aggravating because all these things imply that Vegeta deserves better than Goku and stuff, right? And it's just like so stupid, because if you truly believe that, then you don't understand Dragon Ball. I'm sorry, right? And of course, this does bring up what I did say, what should have been the pecking order, for better lack of terms, once the Zamasu arc ended. You know, but alas, we have Atsuhiro Tomioka writing this episode, right? So we go from having a 0.1% chance of this episode being good to negative 50 million %, right? And if you know what I mean about the pecking order, if you don't know, basically Vegeta should have been stronger than Goku at the end of the Zamasu arc, because Vegeta, excuse me, actually trained in the Rosat, the Room of Spirit and Time, for how long was it? Like, I don't know how long it was, but he actually trained, right? Whereas Goku was trying to do the fucking Mafuba, right? So if you do training with the Mafuba as opposed to like general training in the fucking Room of Spirit and Time, I think it should be, and these two are supposed to be equal somehow, right? Well, actually, I guess it makes sense that they could be somehow in the end, right? That they could be equal somehow in the end, but, you know, given conventional, logical understanding of Dragon Ball power scaling, reason should lead one to believe that Vegeta should be stronger than Goku. Now, obviously, that's not the case, right? But yeah, obviously that's not the case, right? But that's what it should have been. And if that's what it should have been, then maybe I wouldn't be complaining about this, right? Vegeta just magically seeing through Jiren's punches. Now, again, this is similar to Super Saiyan Gohan watching Super Saiyan Goku fight Cell, right? But you want to know why that made sense and this doesn't? There wasn't any fight or situation that went against the notion that Gohan wasn't at least at Goku's level, right? Think about it. Goku and Gohan trained together in the Room of Spirit and Time for almost a year, then came out, right? And they achieved the highest level of Super Saiyan possible at the time, right? Or at least of Super Saiyan 1 possible, right? So, given that, and given that Gohan trained with Goku, I can believe that Gohan is at least on the level of Goku when he fights Cell, right? I can believe that, because the training, all this stuff, it makes sense, right? And actually, Gohan is actually stronger than Goku in that form, because he actually can see like what Cell is doing, and because he thinks that Goku isn't fighting like all out, right? All these implications imply that Gohan is stronger than Goku, even as a regular Super Saiyan 1 when he fights Cell, right? But that's just it. There wasn't any fight or situation that went against that notion that Gohan wasn't at least, maybe you didn't think he had to be equal or stronger, but you didn't think that he was so significantly weaker, right? Considering that Goku trained him. Whereas Vegeta in this arc, he's getting duped by Frost, and struggling with fucking Botamo sitting on top of Vegeta. If you wanted Super Saiyan, or sitting on top of Vegeta covering his fucking ears, right? I can't believe that's still a thing. You watch Vegeta versus Dodoria, Zarbon, Frieza, Cell, 18, Boo. And then he's struggling with Botamo sitting on top of Vegeta covering his ears. How can anyone defend that? If you wanted Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta to be stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku, fine, go for it. In fact, I'd be for that, as long as it wasn't the fucking final arc in the series, because that would imply that the end-all, be-all message is that Vegeta is stronger than Goku, and that should not be the case. I mean, as much as you want to be a Vegeta, or as much as you like Vegeta or whatever, right? And it's fine to like Vegeta. I'm not saying you shouldn't like Vegeta or he shouldn't be your favorite character, right? And that you shouldn't want a rivalry with Goku, right? But for him to be stronger than Goku at the end just goes against the entire message, right? Anyway, we can talk about that later. But anyway, you can go for it. Have Vegeta be stronger than Goku at the end of an arc. Fine. go for it. I'm all for it because it's actually something different. But at least have it make sense without wanking him, right? And obviously, in the end, this complaint of mine is in vain. It's been in vain since Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta somehow overtook Super Saiyan 3 Goku because he got mad. And it really showed once Future Trunks and Goku fought Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, and Zamasu together for the first time. So power scaling is unfortunately illogical. And we know that, but it's still depressing as fuck to see like this is what Dragon Ball has become. That being said, while he's fighting Jiren and he does get a punch in on him and all this, that being said, Vegeta does say you were faster and stronger when you fought Kakarot, which could explain how he's faring well. But again, this is obviously fucking smack talk rather than truth, because Jiren hasn't gotten any fucking weaker. If anything, he's gotten stronger since he was fucking meditating in the middle of the goddamn arena. So yes, it's fucking wanking Vegeta again. Vegeta, this dude, no major fight, right? No major fight, has not been pushed to his limits whatsoever in this tournament till he fights Jiren in this episode. And somehow, he pulls off a feat better than Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Which would have worked given the end of the Zamasu arc if he wasn't struggling with fucking getting duped by Frost and Hisopp freezing his arm and Botamo sitting on top of Vegeta and covering his ears and all that fucking dumb ass bullshit. It's fucking wank. And it's the most one of the most detestable things that I just hate about Dragon Ball fandom. Oh, Vegeta trained harder. And it's always in relation to Goku. It's always in relation to Goku. No one cares about Vegeta in relation to Piccolo or in relation to Krillin. I mean, I care about those characters, obviously. I do. I love those characters. But I'm just being real here. No fan out there is saying it's always in relation to Goku. Not even Gohan, right? No one complained that Vegeta was... it was always about Vegeta and Goku. It was never about Vegeta and Gohan or Vegeta and Gotenks back in the Buu arc. It's always Vegeta and Goku. And the writers within that respect and relationship are always fucking wanking it. As usual, Takahashi's art is cool, right? But I guess, you know, you can... I guess you can, like, envy good art. I mean, I sure as hell envy good art. Like, even in a manga, even if the manga isn't any... At least in my opinion, it isn't any good. But, again, it's like one of those things, like, why the fuck should I care about great art and animation when the actual story is still shit? You know? I mean, I guess that's not all true. Maybe I... Excuse me. Maybe, you know, maybe I can appreciate it in some respect, but, you know, it would be a lot better if the actual story was actually kind of good, you know? And then, yeah, oh, this was a really funny moment. Dispo running with Frieza's tail. That shit was funny as fuck. That shit was funny as fuck, right? It was really awkward, right? Just to see it in a series where Dragon Ball characters have been flying and fighting in midair and all this, right? It's just funny as fuck to see like Dragon Ball characters run. And to see Dispo run the way that he did with Frieza's tail, bro, that shit had me dying. That shit was funny as fuck, okay? That was... What the fuck was that? That shit was funny. I don't know. Maybe it was bad. I don't know. Maybe bad is too strong a word, but more appropriate word for me was like, it was just funny. It was just funny. Then Vegeta has this whole Final Flash thing and stuff, right? Vegeta saying he is arrogant, right? When Jiren says that there's not a speck of purity in your fighting style or something like that, right? Vegeta saying he is arrogant is oddly awkward for me, because I can't see Vegeta as a character acknowledging that he is arrogant, even if this is his Saiyan slash Namek / Android's arc self slash Android. Did I say slash? Saiyan slash Namek slash Android's arc self, right? Which it shouldn't be, for obvious reasons. You shouldn't take a character and regress him, right, to a previous state, right, which his character was, right. Post-Buu Vegeta should be not sullen, but he shouldn't be so PMS, right? Fucking he shouldn't be like fucking like, oh, I hate Kakarot and fuck everyone, I'm this loner, right? He should be a lot more friendly and open to like Goku as a person, and just a lot more open to people, right? There's no reason for him to be like all this bullshit, right? But so obviously, like, this is like terrible writing because it's regressed him, right? But even if we take into account like that era of Vegeta's character, it's still oddly arrogant for me to acknowledge that for him to acknowledge that he is arrogant, because Vegeta, right? Arrogance is a flaw, right? It's not a good thing to be arrogant. It's never a good thing to be arrogance and pride are sins for a reason, right? It is a good thing to be confident, but arrogance and pride, that's something different, right? But and that's exactly it. It's not positive. It's not a good thing to be arrogant, right? And if Vegeta, his Saiyanamic Android's Arc self, is so enamored with being the best and being perfect, or not like, well, I guess like Cell in some respect, but if he's so enamored with being #1, he wouldn't admit to a fucking flaw to someone else. I'm arrogant. And then choose to own that flaw? Saiyan-Namek Android Zark self, Vegeta? I mean, I can understand Buu Arc Vegeta doing that, even though Buu Arc Vegeta, post-Buu Arc Vegeta, at least post-Majin Vegeta, post-Vegeta, after he dies against Fat Buu, should not be arrogant. And he's definitely not arrogant as he, like, humbles himself. He humbles himself. And that's what was good about that whole moment, right? But then, right, here's the other thing. But then, for Vegeta to equate him saying that he's arrogant to his Saiyan pride? His Saiyan pride is about him doing things as much as he can without help, right? And then being able to forget about that and do what's necessary to protect the people that he cares about. Put aside his pride and fuse with Goku permanently before Super retcon that shit. Admit to himself that he can't beat Buu and that Goku's the only one that can do it. Humble himself so much that he begs the people of Earth to donate their energy to the Genki Dama to kill Buu. That's what it means. That's what it means for Vegeta to be like a proud person. That's what Saiyan Pride's about. Or maybe not Saiyan Pride, but that's what fucking pride in relation to Vegeta, that's what it's about. Once again, Atsuhiro Tomioka has no idea what the fuck these characters are about. And then, this was the dumbest part, right? Or not, well, maybe one of the dumbest parts at least. He has Vegeta say Kakarot can have his Ultra Instinct, as if Vegeta himself wasn't training to achieve that very same form under Whis. Good lord! What the fuck was all that training under Whis for? You are training under Whis to achieve a form that shouldn't be a form, by the way, because acting subconsciously shouldn't unlock a fucking form, right? But anyway, it shouldn't even be like a thing, right? If anything, it should just be like a basic like training method. That's it. But anyway, I've spoken about Ultra Instinct and how fucking at least the lore is, right? But this dude Vegeta said Kakarot can have his Ultra Instinct. So basically, your training under Whis is fucking meaningless in the end. Whis has constantly been telling you to think on your own. It's not something that is just special to Goku. It's a fucking technique of the gods, even though it shouldn't be, right? Anyway, and shout out to Herms for this too, right? The translation is that Vegeta loses interest in Ultra Instinct, for now anyway. In part because acting without thought means a negation of one sense of identity, throwing away who you are, which goes against Vegeta's pride, right? So that's what was Herms like. That was the. It's not what he was thinking about it. Well, it was more him like translating like what Vegeta meant when he said that in Japanese, right? Because nothing always perfectly translates between like two languages, right? But even this is fucking stupid. Acting subconsciously means you're throwing away one sense of identity? How the fuck is acting subconsciously a negation of one sense of pride and identity? How the fuck does that make any goddamn sense? Thinking with the... Not thinking Not thinking is not respecting yourself? Is that what you're trying to say? Fuck you, man. Fuck Atsuhiro Tomioka. Like, that is like the most brain aneurysm inducing thing that I've seen in this fucking show in a while. I mean, I understand it like in the vaguest of ways, right? In the vaguest of ways, right? But the fact that he tried to equate those two things shows that Tomioka himself doesn't even understand what either of those two things are. Dude, acting subconscious. Like, okay, I'm acting without thought. I'm acting without thought. Does that mean I have no pride? I feel like going here. I feel like going here. I'm you know, I'm not thinking. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing shit. What the fuck? What the fuck does that have any? Oh, Jesus Christ. Good Lord, man. It just angers me that people enjoy this shit. It really does, man. It really does. Anyway, the final Flash stuff happens, right? Jiren provoking Vegeta as a reason for why he's so strong. When he uses the final Flash, right? That's obviously trash, as that would only work if Vegeta were appropriately strong enough, right? Which he could have been. Like what I was saying at the end of the Zamasu arc, right? Which he could have been if he wasn't struggling with fucking Hisopp freezing his fucking arm off, right? And obviously, if Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 and 20 wasn't a thing, which was getting bodied by Jiren. And somehow Vegeta, without any sort of power-up, is making Jiren put an effort into their fight. The final Flash is just like against Cell, right? Where Cell doesn't move at all, right? And Jiren did the same with the Genki Dama. Not that I thought that this was particularly noteworthy to point this out. The only reason I'm talking about this is because this is one of those, why don't you dodge moments that people complain about, right? It's like, why don't people like dodge the fucking Ki Blast? And obviously, like, we saw Jiren like allow Goku to use the Genki Dama against him. Vegeta pretty much used the same thing with the against Jiren that he did against Cell. This is like very Cell. But like this is all like Vegeta versus Cell again, to be honest with you. Like even when he punches Jiren, right? That was like Vegeta punching second form Cell. Remember that when he first turned into Super Vegeta? So that was kind of cool. It's even it's even more reminiscent, right? Once Vegeta starts laughing, which really sucks, since at least in Super, right? This really sucks. He knew his Gallic Gun back in the Battle of Gods arc in Super. He knew his Gallic Gun had no effect on Beerus. Yet here he thinks his final Flash is going to do something to fucking Jiren. God, I hate Super. Then Vegeta gets wrecked, and this was another funny moment, right? Goku was yelling Vegeta's name like he was a great distance away, right? Right? And then the next shot is like Vegeta being like in this crater like 2 feet away, after Jiren wrecks him. That was funny. The close-up of Jiren's eyes before the narrator starts talking for the end of the episode, that was pretty bad too. It was just a bad shot. It didn't look good at all. And yeah, that's pretty much the episode. I guess I can talk about the next episode preview. And this is like, I mean, I say this is the worst. This is like an all-time low or whatever, but I'm running out of ways to describe this shit. Vegeta's new form being teased in the preview for the next episode. What the fuck am I watching, man? What the fuck? This is so bad. This is terrible. This new form by Vegeta, it's just a darker shade of fucking blue. It's just a fucking darker shade of blue. He's Super Saiyan Blue, and then he transforms into Super Saiyan Bluer. That's what this fucking form is going to be called, right? That's not official, I'm just saying. At least that's what I'm going to call it. Not Super Saiyan Blue, I'm gonna call it Super Saiyan Bluer. This new form is just a darker shade of blue? Are you fucking retarded, Toei? I can guarantee you, if you go in past episodes in Super, or even in the Resurrection, even in the Revival of F movie, if you go in past episodes and you go in that movie, you'll see that same fucking shade of blue being used in their hair. I can't believe this. The new form is just a darker shade of blue. It's just a darker shade. It's not even that it's a fucking color change, right? Dude, listen. Obviously, color changes have been done to death, especially in Super, right? But at least, like, that was an actual different fucking color. If it's just a different shade of blue, motherfucker, you have light blue. You have the turquoise teal shade of blue. You have the light green shade of blue. You have all these different shades of blue that you use for Super Saiyan Blue and Super. And your answer is to use a fucking darker shade of blue to indicate that he's like this form above Super Saiyan Blue? A darker shade of blue which can be used like in any random scene in Dragon Ball Super from now or in previous episodes. Imagine this, right? Say we took the color, right, of blue, that really light blue, that Akira Toriyama, right? Remember that illustration for Super Saiyan Blue that Akira Toriyama himself did in the Resurrection F pamphlet, where it showed like Goku and Vegeta like standing side by side, and it was like a really like light blue, like a light steel blue, right? So imagine if that was the only color, right? Imagine if that was the only color for Super Saiyan Blue that we saw. Like it was only that shade, right? But then we say that we say that there's a form above that, you know, above Super Saiyan Blue. But instead of like it being like having fur like Super Saiyan 4 or having longer hair like Super Saiyan 3 or something like that, or being a different color even, it's just the fucking turquoise teal tint of hair that we got when fucking, I don't know, when Goku fights Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, for example, the first time. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm talking about like that greenish blue shade of hair. Imagine if that was like the new form after Super Saiyan Blue. Good God, this series will be looked upon 50 years from now, right? Hopefully and discussed at how horrible it was compared to the original manga. A fucking darker shade of blue? How can a competent, veteran Dragon Ball fan take that seriously? How? How the fuck can you do that? A fucking darker shade of blue. That's it. That's your new form. At least fucking Super Saiyan, whatever the fuck it is, Kaioken times 20 with Super Saiyan Blue. At least that has like a different aura. At least like his skin color goes like fucking like Gear Second like Luffy. At least there's something there. At least there's fucking something there. And really even then, I wouldn't even call that a new form so much as a variant of Super Saiyan Blue. Really even Super Saiyan Blue itself I wouldn't call a new form. Because really it's only Goku turning Super Saiyan after having obtained the power of Super Saiyan God, right? At least that's how Toriyama described it. But point is, a fucking darker shade of blue. Not a new hairstyle, not a different color. No fur, like it's a fucking darker shade of blue. I mean, I guess technically you can say like dark blue is a different color than light blue, but come the fuck on. A darker shade is... No, fuck. If I had to guess, this is an anime-only thing, right? Maybe it's some unnecessary unnecessary in the fact that, you know, it's something that doesn't need to be added, right? Or that shouldn't be added in Super. Maybe it's some unnecessary mastered form of Super Saiyan Blue, right? Like with Super Saiyan stages 2 through 4 in the Androids arc. I'm guessing this is going to be anime-only, right? I'm guessing this is going to be an anime-only form because they have to find some way for Vegeta to compete with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10 and 20, right? So I'm going to assume that this is going to be this darker shade of blue Vegeta form is going to be an anime-only form. That being said, the darker shade of blue probably should have been what the original color should have been, instead of the light steel blue. I would have actually preferred like this darker shade of blue instead of the light steel blue. But my God, like it's it just reminds me of like remember Super Saiyan Goku? He has like blonde hair, gold hair, then dark yellow hair. Dude, that's what how can you take something that happens frequently in anime coloring and just make that a completely new form? Gintoki's hair is not always silver. It's like gray and white and light blue. You know, Kenshiro's hair is like brown and black and blue. You know, fuck Dragon Ball Super. Just fuck Dragon Ball Super. I don't... Fuck this shit, man. Fuck this shit. Hopefully next time you guys see me, I'll be doing like a Devilman review or something. You know, I gotta go watch King Recon. This is just... fuck Dragon Ball Super. Fuck this shit. Shout out to King Recon, man. I love you, man.